that one.
Yeah. But I was
To shine. I can forward the Jai Bhabhi.
yeah, no, I'm sharing it for all the new people, you see. Okay, here we go. Well,
Okay.
that's fine. That's come on, right?
Okay, yeah.
You can see it, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Shreeti, that came up the first time as well.
Oh, we did. Okay. Okay, fine. Here we go. I'm just trying to do. Okay. Let's start with the Pratna.
Gamaya
Sarvesham Swastirabhavatu Sarvesham Bhavatu Sarvesham
Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham
Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhavatu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavatamastu Ma Vishavahe Om Shanti 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 Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Gurave Namah Tvameva Mata Pita Tvameva Bandhu Tvameva Vidya Tvameva
Sarvam Mama Deva Deva
Okay. This is about the karmas, the different kinds of karma. I'm just going to give you a brief insight into it. And next week, obviously, it will be in details. Yeah. So I'm just going to, I don't know if the slides, I think I'll bring them in next week because that will help with that. But just for your knowledge, basically, there's karma can be divided into 4 broad parts. One is Sanchit karma, Prarabdha karma, Kriyaman karma, ne Agama karma.
Sorry, Prarabdha પછી બીજું શું છે?
First is Sanchit karma. Second is Kriyaman karma. પછી આવે છે sorry, I said Sanchit, Prarabdha, Kriyaman, અને Agam. Agam. Yeah.
Agam.
Hmm.
Agam
Yeah.
karma. Okay.
Yeah. four different karmas. And Sanchit karma is about accumulated actions, the sum of all the karmas of this life and past lives. એને સંચિત કર્મ કહે છે. પૂર્વજન્મ, આ જન્મ, આખા જે બધા કર્મ જે છે એને સંચિત કર્મ કહેવામાં આવે છે. પ્રારબ્ધ કર્મ, actions that began, set in motion, that portion of sanchit karma that is bearing fruit and shaping the events and conditions of the current life.
No, can you repeat that, please? I didn't hear that very well. So,
Okay. Okay.
Let
Sanchit
everybody
karma is
mute.
the sum of all the karmas. Right?
I got that, but the second one now.
Yeah, no.
Sanchit.
I'm just telling you. A portion of that sanchit karma.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is shaping our lives. The fall that we're getting now, right now. Okay. That part of actions and the karma is called prarabdha karma.
Prarabdha. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the events and conditions of our current life, including the nature, આપણી personal nature, આપણી bodies, personal tendencies, association, આપણે બધા ભેગા થયા છે અત્યારે, right now in this group. Even
Yeah.
that is due to the prarabdha karma. It's not happened automatically. Okay?
Oh, okay.
It's not a mere coincidence. Okay? So that is also that's karma, a form of karma. Then we have kriyaman karma. Whatever we are doing right now, whatever we are saying right now, whatever our actions are, whatever our thoughts are right now, okay, this is being added into this life by our first thoughts, words and actions. Okay, and that is called kriyaman karma. Kriyaman એટલે આપણી અત્યારે જે ક્રિયા છે એ કર્મ. Okay, right now, whatever we're thinking, whatever we listening to, whatever we speaking, all that is karma, kriyaman. Okay, and then we have agam karma. That is the karma that is going to arrive. Okay, and living in that karma, meaning it's already been set in motion. એટલે કાલે શું થવાનું છે એને અગમ કર્મ કહે. કાલે શું થવાનું છે, આપણે આજે સુઈ જાશો બધા. ઓકે, તો આપણું અગમ કર્મ લખાઈ ગયું છે. કાલે શું થવાનું છે, આપણે ઉઠીને જાગશો ત્યારે what is going to be the state and what's going to happen. This is besides our daily routine. આપણે ઉઠીને whatever you get up, shower, breakfast, this, that, whatever, even that is part of it. Because sometimes you get up, you're so that is, you know, agam karma. And the actions or the will be dependent on the actions and will be dependent on ourselves. That is the free will, that portion. આપણે શું કરવું છે એ સિચ્યુએશનમાં, એ આપણું free will છે. અને એ આપણો, yeah, that is the one that will form our future karma, આગળનું. Yeah, અને also the fruits that we get based on what action we take. Let's say we decide, okay, tomorrow we get up and we get some news about somebody getting married, or you know, whatever news. And the thoughts that we get at that time, the thoughts, what are your thoughts in reaction? Oh, how lovely, so nice, somebody's finally getting married. Or somebody could say, oh, why is this person getting married? Somebody could say something else, etc. and etc. We don't know. And that will form your future karma based on, yeah. So what you got was due to your past karma, and that is linked there. That incident occurred. but you have your free will. Your free will is your thought process then, okay? And the fruits will come in the future. So that is how the karmic theory works. This is just the basic. I will,
Amazing. Amazing.
yeah,
Mm.
it is. Hence, I got this, feedback to take it in depth and capture reincarnation as well, which I will do on also the further life, and maybe a bit in depth into where it's connected as per our Vedic Shastras, how it works in depth. Okay. So that was just a trailer for next week. Now, we'll move into Ken Upanishad. And if anybody has any questions on the Upanishad as well, please, when I ask you at the end, please, any pela lakhi rakjo. Koi ne pan Gujarati ma pan prashna hoy to please lakjo. And if you have it in English as well, no problem. But keep it when I finish the Upanishad, Tyar Sudhi, okay? Because I'm going to move into that section now. And as soon as I talk about the Upanishad, my boiler starts making a noise. I don't know why, but so if you hear it, please kindly ignore it. I'm going to mute you all. Okay. And then we take it further. Yeah, I'm going to just mute you all just for this Kena Upanishad. Then, we can take it on from there. So it's less background noise. Okay, I need to bring in the slide and bear with me one moment. I'm just going to share that with you. Yeah, I can't do that again. Here we go. Okay. Sorry. Okay, you can see the screen?
Yeah.
Or have I lost it?
It's okay. We can see it, Shreeti.
You can, ne? Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Just briefly, Upanishad, Ken Upanishad is also known as Talwakar Upanishad. And this wisdom is by the Divine Mother, and she imparts the divine wisdom to Indra, the king of Devatas. And when the Devatas could not find Paramatma, who is without beginning or end, although they searched high and low. So just for people who are not aware what this Upanishad is about. Okay. Gosh. Okay, right. Last time we were at, we moved on to the part 3. The Brahman once won a victory for the Devtas. Through that victory of the Brahman, the Devtas became elated. They thought, this victory is ours, this glory is ours. Brahman here does not mean a personal deity. There is a Brahma, the first person of Hindu Trinity. If we're not talking about that Brahma, we're talking about Brahman, which is the absolute, the one without a second, who is the essence of all. There are different names and forms which represent certain personal aspects of divinities, such as Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the transformer. But no one of these can fully represent the whole. Only Brahman is the vast ocean of being on which rise numberless ripples and waves of manifestation. From the smallest atomic form of a dev or angel to the largest, all spring from the limitless ocean of Brahman, the inexhaustible source of life. No manifested form of life can be dependent of its source, just as no wave, however mighty, can be independent of the ocean. Nothing moves without that power, and he is the only doer. But the Devtas obviously thought the victory is theirs. So they said to the fire, O Jatadev, find out what the mysterious spirit this is. And he said, yes. He ran towards it and he started looking for Brahman. And he started asking, who are you? And I am Agni and I am Jataved. The fire god replied. Brahma said, what power resides in you? Agni replied, I can burn up all whatsoever exists on earth. That is the power of Agni. So Brahma placed a straw before him and said, burn this straw. So the Agni rushed towards it with all the speed, but was not able to burn it. So he returned from there and said to the Devtas, I was not able to find out what this great mystery is. Then they said to Vayu, the air god, find out what this mystery is. He ran towards it and he said to him, who are you? I am Vayu. I am Matarvis, the traveler of heaven. Vayu Devta said. Brahma said, what power is in you? And Vayu replied, I can blow away all whatsoever exists on earth. Brahma placed a straw before him and said, blow this away. Vayudev rushed towards it with all the speed, but was unable to blow it. So he returned from there and said to the Devtas, I was not able to find out what this great mystery is. Then they said to Indra, O Maghavan, worshipful one, find out what this mystery is. And he said, yes. He ran towards it and disappeared. Then he saw in that very space a beautifully adorned woman, Uma of golden hue, daughter of Himalaya. He asked her, what is this great mystery? Now we see how the Absolute assumes concrete form to give knowledge of himself to the earnest seeker. Brahma, the impenetrable mystery, disappeared, and in his place appeared a personal form to represent him. This is a subtle way of showing the difference between the absolute and the personal aspects of deity. The absolute is declared to be unknowable and unthinkable. Yet he assumes defined personal aspects to make himself known to his devotees. And the aspects we have seen come in all the forms in the Avatar that we saw 2 weeks ago. Uma, daughter of the Himalaya, represents that personal aspect of the offspring of the infinite being, while Himalaya stands as the symbol of eternal, unchangeable one. In the final part, Uma said, "It is Brahma. It is through the victory of Brahma that you are victorious in your battle." Then from her words, Indra knew that it was Brahman himself. Uma replied to Indra, "It is to Brahman that you owe your victory. It is through his power that you live and act. He is the agent and you are all instruments in his hands. Therefore, your idea that this victory is ours, this glory is ours, is based on ignorance." Just like we at the moment, in this great calamity on earth, everybody's trying to claim they have created the vaccine for this coronavirus. And everybody's, trying to claim the glory, but nobody has actually managed to do so because nobody has got a clear confirmation of any vaccine or cure for this virus. In the same way, people claim that victory is theirs. So that is all in ignorance. Coming back to the story, at once Indra saw their mistake. The Devatas, being puffed up with vanity, had thought they themselves had achieved the victory, whereas it was Brahman, for not even a blade of grass can move without his command, as we saw. Therefore, the Devatas, Agni, Vayu, Indra, and all the others, they came nearer to Brahma, and it was they who first knew the spirit as Brahma. Therefore, Indra excels all other Devatas because he came nearest to Brahma, because he was the first to inform others and experience the spirit as Brahman. Agni, Vayu, and Indra were superior to other Devatas because of the closure vision. And they were able to do this because they were purer. While Indra stands out as the head of Devatas, he realized the truth directly and he reached Brahman. The significance of this is that whoever comes in direct touch with Brahman or the Supreme is glorified. So the teaching of Brahman is illustrated in regard to the Devatas. He dashed like lightning and appeared and disappeared just as the eye winks. The teachings as regards to the Devatas was Brahman is the only doer. As we say, Karta Harta, Prabhu Sri Govardhan. He had appeared before them in a mysterious form, but the whole of the unfathomable Brahman could not be seen in any definite form. So, at the moment of vanishing, he manifested more of his immeasurable glory and fleetness of actions by a sudden dazzling flash of light. The teaching is regarding Adhyatma, the embodied soul. The mind seems to approach him as Brahman. By this mind, the seeker again and again remembers and thinks about Brahman. Only by mind can the seeker, after knowledge, approach Brahma, whose nature in glory and speed has been described as like unto a flash of lightning. Mind alone can picture the indescribable Brahman, and mind alone, being swift in his nature, can follow him. It is through the help of this mind that we can think and meditate on Brahman. As we do that, some people meditate on his form. This is just an example. We talked about in one of our classes, we talked about meditating on the Shabda Brahma, which is Om, meditating on Swarup Brahma, Adhyatmic Swarup, which could be Krishna, Ram, Shiv, depends who you want to, meditate on with Swarup. And when by constant thought of him the mind becomes purified, then like a polished mirror, it can reflect his divine glory. That Brahman is called Tadvanam, object of adoration. He is worshipped by the name Tadvanam. He knows Brahman, who is loved by all beings. Brahma is the object of adoration and the goal of all beings. For this reason, he should be worshipped and meditated upon as Tadvanam. Whoever knows him in this aspect becomes one with him and serves as a clear channel through which the blessings of Brahman flow out to others. The knower of God partakes of all his lovable qualities and is therefore loved by all true devotees. In the last part, the disciple asks, "O Master, teach me the Upanishad." The teacher replied, "The Upanishad has been taught now. We have certainly taught you the Upanishad about Brahman." The Upanishad is based on tapas, that is the practice, the control of the body, mind and senses. Dham, subjugation of the senses. Karma, right performance of prescribed actions. The Veds as its limbs. Truth is its support. He who knows this wisdom of the Upanishad, having been cleansed of all the sin, becomes established in the blissful, eternal, and highest abode of Brahman, in the ultimate abode of Brahman. And therefore, this Upanishad is called Ken, because it began with the inquiry, by whom, which is Ken, in Sanskrit, Ken, by whom, whose will or directed does the mind go towards its object, from whom does life come, what enables men to speak, to see, to hear, and the teacher in reply gives him the definition of Brahman, the source and basis of existence. The spirit of Upanishads is always to show that no matter where we look or what we see or feel in the visible world, it all proceeds from one source. All the Vedic, as we look at this Upanishad, the Vedic teaching is one tremendous whole becoming the world, and again the world merging in that whole. It also strives in various ways to define that source, which all else is known and without which no knowledge can be well established. This is, in reference to the shlok that we say, Om Purnamadaha Purnamidaha Purnat Purnamudachyate. That is the shlok that is associated to this Ken Upanishad. The special purpose of this Upanishad is to give us the knowledge of the real, that we may not come under by the dominion of the ego, by identifying ourselves with our body, mind, and senses. Mortals become mortals because they fall under the sway of ego and depend on their own limited physical and mental strength. Therefore, the lesson of the Devtas and Brahman is there, and it shows there is no real power, no real doer except God. He is the eye for eye, ear for ear, eyes for eyes, and all our faculties have no power independent of him. When we realize him as the underlying reality of our being, we transcend death and become immortal. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And this is, I beg you, I need to stop that, yeah. and this is the Kena Upanishad. I know some of you find it extremely hard to understand this Upanishad, but Upanishad, for me to make it as close as possible to the original text, I'm taking the transliteration of the shlokas and then elaborating on the shlokas so that we stay as close as possible to the underlying subject. And these are the fundamentals of Sanatana Vedic Hindu Dharma and most important Upanishads.
જે થાય છે બધું ભગવાનની ઈચ્છાથી, એટલે ભગવાનની કૃપાની પણ ઈચ્છાથી થાય છે, રાઈટ?
ઈચ્છાથી.
તો પછી એક વાર આપણે એમ કહી કે બુદ્ધિ ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ છે. આપણને વિચાર કરવાનું, આપણે વિચાર કરીએ છીએ ને આપણે સમ એક્શન્સ લઈએ છીએ. તો વુડ યુ સે કે ભગવાનની ઈચ્છા હતી એટલે ઈ બુદ્ધિએ છે ને એટલું ઈ કામ કર્યું or whatever?
હવે એક વસ્તુ છે,
આપણે કર્મ યોગમાં જોયું ને.
Correct. Yeah. I was hoping somebody would address the two because આપણે side by side કર્મ યોગ પર ચાલી રહ્યું છે.
એટલે કર્મ કરીએ છે.
ભગવદ્વાણી છે.
તો કર્મ કરીએ છે આપડા knowingly we are doing some karma, right?
Yes.
I know કે એની આપણે
even knowingly, by the way, just one thing, we can do karmas unknowingly as well. It works two ways. Yeah.
Okay. તો પછી ઈ ભગવત ઈચ્છા કહેવાય?
Yes, Bhagwad Gita. Yes, how Bhagwad Gita? It said Upanishad માં જો આપણે કાન આપ્યા છે એ ભગવદ ઈચ્છાથી ના આપ્યા છે. આપણે we've got mouth, right? Bhagwad Gita. We got a mind, Bhagwad Gita. Okay? Eyes, Bhagwad Gita. હાથ, આપણા બધા શરીરનો અંગ બધા ભગવદ ઈચ્છા, right? According to Kena Upanishad, બરાબર? આ બધું address થયું હતું, right from the beginning. The ear, right? The speech. Okay. So ઈ બધું ભગવદ ઈચ્છાથી આપણને મળ્યું છે. એક બીજી ઉપનિષદ આગળ આવશે which will address this, and yet similarly એ બ્રહ્માંડનો message છે, right? Okay. Now, Bhagwad Gita is Bhagwadvani. Same thing, Brahman's message, but in Sakar Brahma. Ek roop, ek swarupma. આમાં આવ્યું ને ગમે તે સ્વરૂપમાં એમને સેલ્ફને પ્રોજેક્ટ કર્યું, રાઈટ? ઇન્દ્ર દેવતાને એ દર્શન આપ્યા, રાઈટ? અને એને એ સમજ્યા કે હા ભગવાન છે, એ કોણ છે? એને સ્વરૂપના દર્શન થયા. સેમ વે આ ભગવદ ગીતામાં એ સ્વરૂપ, એ ફોર્મમાં, એ અવતારમાં પ્રભુનો જે એ અવતાર હતો શ્રી કૃષ્ણ તરીકે, એમાં જે મેસેજ આપ્યો એમને ભગવદ ગીતામાં, એમાં કર્મનું શું કહ્યું? Yes, he has given you all these attributes, but buddhi and the actual physical karma, we've been given the tools. આ બધું tools છે, but ઈ કરવાનું છે આપણે, અને કઈ રીતે કરવાનું છે, that is what he's showing us, right? So Kena Upanishad is absolutely to that point. Yeah. Is everybody okay with that? Anybody have anything to ask further on this?
આપણે બધી એક્શન કરીએ છીએ હાથેથી, whatever action.
Yeah.
ઈ ભગવત ઈચ્છાથી જ થાય છે એમ. કર્મ કરીએ છીએ. I'm just trying to.
Yes, I know what you mean, because when I said કે બધાને બધું સમજાય, I was just going to head for that point, because we touched on karma, and yet આમાં એ Kena Upanishadમાં એ આવ્યું, right? So it's a very good question, because it looks કે it's contradicting each other. ઓલામાં આમ કેજ અને ભગવદ ગીતામાં આમ કેજ, તો એ કેતા ન હોઈ શકે. ઓલું પણ ભગવદ આદેશ છે આ પણ ભગવદ આદેશ છે. ઓલું right in the beginning છે with unknown Brahma, and this is from known Brahma, right? So they both same source. એમાં એમ કીધું કે ઉપનિષદમાં જે પણ બધું છે આપણે પણ as human beings we are not independent. આપણે પણ પ્રભુના માંથી ઉત્પન્ન થયા છે. પરમાત્મા આપણે ભગવદ ગીતાના 2nd chapterમાં સાંખ્ય યોગમાં એ જોયું હતું, right? We are part of him. We are a minute part of him. તો એ correct જ થયું? We are part of him. So if we are part of him, whatever we have inherited, whatever has been given to us, that is a part of Paramatma. આપણે ના કહેતા બધાની અંદર પ્રભુના દર્શન કરે, yeah? ઈ આગળ પણ આવશે ભગવદ ગીતામાં. But if we look at everybody and, project, have a vision of God himself, then we'll reach the ultimate state because, we surpass the discrimination. કે આવા છે, આ કોણ છે, આ કેવા છે, crossing all those boundaries. Right?
So the question is, Shreetiben, is કે જો તણખલું ભગવાનની ઈચ્છા વગર ન ચાલતું હોય તો આપણે જે કર્મ કરીએ છે એ ભગવત ઈચ્છાથી કરે છે. I'm assuming that's what Gitaben is saying, કે આપણે જે પણ વિચાર કરીએ છીએ, કર્મ કરીએ છીએ, જો તણખલું ન થતું હોય તો આપણે જે બધા કર્મ કરીએ છીએ ભગવાનની ઈચ્છાથી ને કરીએ છીએ. I think that's what Gitaben is saying.
Yes, okay.
Because if આપણે વિચાર કરીએ કે મને કથા આપણે આ મીટિંગમાં મને આવું છે, આ વૈદિક મીટિંગમાં, એ મારી ઈચ્છા થઈ કે ભગવત ઈચ્છા થઈ?
Yeah, when I talked about the karmas, એ કર્મનો ફલ, right? I discussed કે આપણે બધા અહીંયા છે, even that is part of your previous karma's fal, that you are here. What you do from here, અત્યારે તમે લોકો શું વિચારો right now, that will create your next fal. Okay.
પણ એ બધી ભગવદ ઈચ્છા છે, ઈ જે consequence લે જે થાય જ રાખે છે proper, perpetually it will carry on. તો એ ભગવદ ઈચ્છાથી ને જ direction લે છે અને shape લે છે.
Okay. Yes. In one way, yes. And in another way, no. Why yes? Is because everything, kai pan patu pan na ali sage without Bhagavad Gita. એક તો એક clear definition છે. However, આપણે બીજી તરફ આપણે હજી તો halfway આ કર્મયોગમાં પહોંચ્યા. When we come to the end of this chapter, ત્યાર સુધી આ જવાબનો આ questionનો જવાબ મળી જશે. However, the reason for that is મેં તમને કહ્યું આપણે બધાના કર્મ જે છે એમાં we have that little window of free will.
Shreeti,
Okay.
Is it how we react to things, isn't it? Because there's things that are avoidable, so it's the situation comes across, but
Correct.
it's how
Our own
we
reaction.
react to it, which actually builds our karmas.
Correct. It's absolutely correct. Yes. આપણી સામે circumstances ઊભા થઈ ગયા. That is because આપણું જે કર્મ previous હતું એ પ્રમાણે એ આવ્યું આપણને ઈ ફલ જે પણ હોય ગમે તે situation, good, bad, ugly, whatever, right? And how we react to that situation, that is our new karma. We are creating part of new karma. પણ આમાં ભગવદ will ક્યાં આવી? ભગવદ will ઈ આવી કે we have been given the tools to execute our karma. ખ્યાલ આવ્યો? Everything we have, the senses, the body, the mind, everything we have is been given to us. And without any ichha vagar, it's not possible.
So the choices we make, જ્યારે પ્રારબ્ધ સામે આવે, the choices we make, that's what creates new future. New karma.
That's right. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
We've got two choices in life. આ રસ્તો લ્યો કે આ રસ્તો લ્યો.
Correct. Yeah.
ત્યારે ભગવત ઈચ્છા ન થાય ત્યારે it gives us the independence to catch a window.
પછી ભગવદ ઈચ્છા ક્યાં intervene થાય? Either route you take, એનો ફલ જ્યારે આવે, પણ if you carry on with one negative activity, and if it's harassing એમના ભક્ત એમને કૃપા પાત્ર જીવને જ્યાં તકલીફ થઈ, જો as we saw કંસ બધાને જે પરિસ્થિતિમાં વ્રજ ભક્તોને જે પરેશાની આવી હતી પૃથ્વી ઉપર જે પણ ધમાલ મચાવી હતી, તો he took incarnation and he intervened in that karma to help, you know, બધા વ્રજ ભક્તોને અને પૃથ્વી ઉપરથી બહાર ઉતારવા વાસ્તે, as we say આપણા scripturesમાં, right? By taking the avatar of Shri Krishna, same avatar of Ram, or all the Dasa avatar. We've seen આપણે દસ અવતારનું session લીધું હતું, not દસ અવતાર, 24 avatar, sorry. Emma, we described briefly all the avatars. And one thing that was common in all the avatar was that he came to free somebody, to help somebody. ચાહે ભક્ત હોય કે innocent people હોય કે anything. His duty was to intervene during that time. Yeah. So that's where he plays a major role. But it's very beautiful the way he will space it out in our further verses in Bhagwad Gita as well. And it will completely correlate, and, you know, it will make it, you know, slide through transformation from the Upanishad into Bhagwad Gita. Yeah, sorry.
So would you say anything regarding the current situation?
Sorry.
It's my phone, sir.
Okay.
What
okay.
about the current situation? Would you say it's a God's, Olu?
Yes, I do believe that. I believe that from the time that it occurred as well. My belief was very strong because there's another aspect to this as well. One is the way I look at things. This is my personal opinion. The way the planets had aligned, okay? They were unusual. It's not that the planets align themselves in that way every day or every year or every few years. No, these are exceptional moments, right? From the first eclipse that occurred in December. Okay, now I won't go in depth into that. That was one of the signs I saw it as. The other thing is nature, the proof that we've all seen. આપણે બધાએ જોયું છે, યમુનાજી, ગંગાજી, ઘણા બીજા વનો, ઘણા સિટીઝમાં એનિમલ્સ બધા આવી રહ્યા છે, જ્યારે બધા everybody was locked into their houses. અને freely, પ્રેમથી આવતા હતા. ઘણાએ એવી આવાજે નથી સાંભળી એવા ચકલાઓની લોકોના એરિયાઝમાં. What has happened in the last few months? That is nature repairing itself. Mountains, ozone layer improve થઈ ગયો. A scientific evidence. We don't need that, but we can see it around us as well, right? So, આમાં શું પ્રભુનો હાથ ના હોય? Think about it. Yeah. So I do believe that yes, you know, Mother Earth, Prithvi Mata ne, we don't see Prithvi Mata as anything but earth. આપણે જેના ઉપર ચાલી રહ્યા, જેના ઉપર જીવી રહ્યા, જન્મ થાય, whatever. But now, actually, Prithvi Mata has got adhyatmic swarup itself. જે સ્વરૂપ is like a female સ્વરૂપ Prithvi Mata. Gau Mata nu pan female swarup છે. You know, that we don't see in the normal, like આપણે પૃથ્વી ઉપર ચાલે. It's also an element created by Brahman, as per Upanishad as well. Everything, Upanishadમાં એમ પણ કીધું, કણ કણમાં બ્રહ્માંડ વસે છે, કણ કણમાં ઉત્પન્ન થયું છે બ્રહ્માંડ. તો કયું સ્વરૂપ માનવું, right? આ પ્રશ્ન એમાં પણ આવ્યો. તો અત્યારે જે થઈ રહ્યું છે is in a different way. Obviously, we are in a different year, different situation, but આ પરિસ્થિતિમાં it has made everybody to think about the environment, other people, તમારા પોતાના ઘરના વ્યક્તિ, બધા એકબીજાનું વિચારી રહ્યા છે. I mean, it's imposed. નકર life has been so fast. Everybody is busy. મારે વहाँ પહોંચવાનું. આવે થાકેલા પાકેલા સુઈ જાઓ. કોઈને એ મોકો નતો મળ્યો કે વિચારી સકે. ઓર ઇવન એક્ઝામ્પલ કે આપણે બધા આમાં સાથે ભેગા થયા છે અને વિચારી રહ્યા છે આ સબ્જેક્ટ ઉપર. ઇટ્સ ક્લિકિંગ વિથ ધ ઉપનિષદ એન્ડ ભગવદ ગીતા. આ પણ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી નથી, કારણ કે we were in a right race. Everybody was doing whatever they were doing. And you know, this is part of God's wish, yes. There's going to be major changes. Haji, this is not the end of it. This is the beginning. There's going to be a lot of changes. This is even astrologically. હું તમને કહું, આખું વર્ષમાં જે planetary changes અત્યારે there's some setbacks in the planetary ascension. એટલે કહેવાનું તાત્પર્ય કે ઘણું બધું હજી changes આવવાના. અને આમાં એક living being એવું નથી જેની લાઈફમાં change નહીં આવે. I'm talking about living being, meaning the plants, the environment, the rivers, the water, the birds, insects, you know, આપણા pets બધા. Whoever's got pets, you'll be able to see that. એક વર્ષની અંદર તમે જોજો કેટલા changes આવે છે. અને બધાની લાઈફમાં some people unfortunately have lost, you know, loved ones in this period as well. That is, it's એક રીતની ઓલું છે, you know, tsunamis or, you know, this COVID situation, ke, you know, any calamities like this. મહાભારતમાં પણ કેટલા લાખો લોકો, you know, નું ઓલું થયું હતું, you know, they were killed. But that is also God's wish. So it's not picking on them. God is not picking on them. It must be a coincidence. એ લોકોનું આયુ પૂરું થયું ને coincidence કે they're going via this method. It's not picking on them કે they're responsible for this. No, it's not them. We all of us, આપણે બધા મનુષ્ય જે પણ આ પૃથ્વી ઉપર છે, we are all responsible for all these actions that's happening on earth. So that is my view on coronavirus. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? કોઈને કઈ પ્રશ્ન છે? Karma next week is in detail, so you know it'll be great. Yeah. Sorry, I'll just unmute you. Yes, Jayshiben.
You know, you said that everything is God's wish.
Yes.
So would you say this this situation we are in is God's wish?
Yes, as I said, yes, it is God's wish. Yes. Without that, such a huge impact worldwide to every single person, without God's wish, it's not possible. It's and the perspective is not about, you know, the death. Don't think about just the death. All the other transformations that are going to occur in this period, that is going to be the final result. And that's what you need to look at. Death's unfortunate, yes, without a doubt. But, you know, all of us, we've come with a timeline. And when that timeline arrives, we all have to move on. And that too, in you know, whether it's another planet, another place, or whether we move on to another body, that will be determined by our karmas again. And yes, it affects all of us. Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions on this? Okay. So we can finally move on to the next part of our class, which is the Bhagwad Gita. And I've just changed the way we do that because when feedback we got some lovely jubblies who are in Gujarati, and they would prefer a bit of Gujarati on here. So what we're going to do on this is we're going to play the shloks and in Sanskrit. We're going to play that, and pachi Gujarati ma and olo leso. Is that okay, everybody? It's just, we're just trying out a new methodology. Smita Babi, is that okay?
That's fine, Shreeti Ben.
Yeah. So we just
As
see
long as everyone is happy.
yeah, no, it's just because some people are enjoying that, but Gujarati ma thoduk vadare jarak ave. So you'll see what I mean once we do this. I'll tell you what, aje apne e rite kare. So hereafter, please give me a feedback and we'll take it as per how everybody likes it. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, and one request to all of you. I did place the Bhagwad Gita in the chat so that everybody can have a copy of it, just to follow the shloks. Whether you can read the shlok or not, just try and do it, because we discussed this in the first session of our Vedic class, that even if we try and say the shloks, it will play an impact on us via the vibration of the sound, or even the mental cell generation within our bodies. So even if it makes a bit of difference, it would be great. And why not benefit from it when we are doing it live, right? So please kindly look into it and we take it on from there. Okay, we were on chapter 3 Bhagwad Gita, text 26. Okay, where is she? Okay.
Yes.
Right.
परमात्मा के स्वरूप में अटल स्थित हुए ज्ञानी पुरुष को चाहिए कि वह शास्त्र विहित कर्मों में आसक्ति वाले अज्ञानियों की बुद्धि में भ्रम अर्थात कर्मों में अश्रद्धा
No. I just want the Sanskrit shlok.
Okay, wait.
Text 26, shlok number 26.
परमात्मा के स्वरूप में अटल स्थित हुए
No. Okay, you know what? Okay, we'll do that next time. No, listen. Let's just do it the way we do today. Okay? Next time we'll be better prepared. Okay? Right, Smita Babi, let's go. Take it.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay, Khopari, your language was changed.
No, that's fine. Let's leave it for now. Okay, Smita Babi, text 26.
Okay. Na buddhi pedam janiyed gnanam karma sanginam josiyet sarva karmani vidvana yukta samacharam.
So as not to disrupt the minds of the ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of the prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of Krishna consciousness. And this is, it's a take on from our discussion on the shlok number 25. It's similar to that. However, here Krishna is talking about, just bear with me one moment. It's talking about, great people have greater responsibility because common people follow them, like prime ministers, ministers, world leaders, spiritual leaders, etc. So Sri Krishna urges that wise people should not perform any actions or make any utterances that lead the ignorant towards downfall. However, I do believe, also people in the families, if you're looked upon by the, greater part of the family. If you're the leader, meaning you're a mother or father or parent, it's a leader even in your families. It applies in the same way. You have great responsibility because your children are going to follow you in whatever way you perform your action. If you say something, you know, we have examples in certain families. If somebody, you know, makes rude remarks or somebody lies a lot, then the children learn that and they follow that example. And therefore, Krishna advises that wise people should not perform any actions or make such utterances that lead the ignorance towards downfall. Emma, it not only affects you, your family, but also their spiritual journey, because by having vices, obviously you leading them astray as well, and then the journey doesn't get any better. However, it may be argued that if the wise feel compassion for the ignorant, they should give them the highest knowledge, the knowledge of God realization. Krishna neutralizes this argument by stating, na buddhi bhedam janayate, meaning the ignorant should not be asked to abandon duties by giving superior instructions they are not qualified to understand. Basically, people advising other people on a subject that they don't have knowledge in, Krishna says they should, you know, refrain from sharing such ignorance. Usually people in the material consciousness consider only two options. Either they're willing to work hard for fruity results, or they wish to give up all exertions on the plea that all works are laborious, painful, and full of evil. You know, we have such lazy people as well in the society. But working for the results is far superior to the escapist approach, Krishna states here. So, the spiritually wise in Vedic knowledge should inspire the ignorant to perform their duties with care and attention. And if the minds of the ignorant become disturbed and unsettled, then they may lose faith in working altogether. And with action stopped and knowledge not arising, the ignorant will lose out from both sides. Often we see sometimes in certain families, certain children, you know, they're so pampered and, you know, out of more maya for the children, and the parents forget to, you know, draw the boundaries or show them the light. And sometimes due to that, they lose faith in themselves. They become weak and they want to ignore life and hide away. And hence, they will not benefit in the spiritual world nor in the material world. It's better to do it with a goal that, okay, yeah, I'm going to earn so much money, rather than not doing the job at all. That's what Krishna is implying to Arjun.
Shruti, I found the sloka in next sloka karo, try karo.
Okay.
Try.
Yeah?
I'm to try.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
27, ne?
Yeah, Shlok 27.
આરંભથી પૂર્તિ પર્યંત સંપૂર્ણ કર્મ પ્રકૃતિના ગુણો દ્વારા કરવામાં આવે છે. છતાં પણ અહંકારથી વિશેષ મૂળ પુરુષ હું કરતા છું એવું માની લે છે. આવું કેમ માની લેવાય કે આરાધના પ્રકૃતિના ગુણો દ્વારા થાય છે? આવું કોણે જોયું? આના પરથી કહે છે,
The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself as the doer of activities that are inactually carried out by the three modes of material nature. Now, this shlok, we discussed this in our question and answer during the Ken Upanishad, right?
Yes.
We can see that the natural phenomenon of the world are not directed by us, but are performed by nature, Prakriti, or Mother Nature. You know, I talked about Corona and my aspect on the coronavirus. Here we have, Krishna confirms that on this. By Prakriti, Prakriti means Mother Nature. Now, for the actions of our own body, we usually divide them into two categories: natural biological functions, such as our body's digestion, blood circulation, heartbeat, etc. And we do not even consciously execute, but it occurs naturally. You know, we discussed about, you know, even when you're asleep, you're performing karmas. See, this is a prime example. The other example, the other actions such as speaking, hearing, walking, sleeping, working, etc., that we think we perform. However, both these categories of works are performed by the mind, body, senses, and mechanism. All the mechanisms are made from Prakriti again. Yeah? Panchbhut Nusharir, yeah, we say that in Gujarati, right? So, Prakriti, or the material energy, that consists of three modes, okay? Sattva-gun, Rajogun, and Tamas. Sattva meaning goodness, Rajas meaning passion, and Tamas meaning ignorance. Atran Shabda Yad Rakjo is going to come all the way throughout now in the Bhagwad Gita. Just as the waves are not separate from the ocean, but a part of it, right? Similarly, the body is part of Mother Nature, from which it is created. Hence, material energy is the doer of anything. Why then does the soul perceive itself to be doing the activities? Geetaben, your question. Okay. Now, the reason is that in the grip of the unforgiving ego, okay, the ego, the soul falsely identifies itself with the body. Therefore, it remains under the illusion that I am doing this, I am the doer, you know, doership. I do this, I am doing that, you know, etc. So let us say there are two trains standing side by side on the railway platform, okay? And a passenger on the train fixes his gaze on the other, okay, the other train. When the second train moves, it seems that the first is moving. Sometimes we get that illusion, right?
Yeah.
Likewise, the immobile soul identifies with the mobility of the Prakriti, and then it perceives itself as the doer of action. The moment the soul eliminates the ego and surrenders to the will of God, it realizes itself as the non-doer and Bhagwad Icha, and, you know, Brahman doing the work. One may question that if the soul is truly the non-doer, then why is it implicated in the law of karma, okay, for actions performed by the body? The reason is the soul does not itself perform, but it does direct the actions of the senses, the mind, and the intellect. For example, a chariot driver does not pull the chariot himself, but he does direct the horses, right? We drive the car, okay? We directing the car, but we're not pushing the car ourselves. Okay, this is instead of the chariot. Now, if there is any accident, it is not the horses that are blamed, but the driver who was directing them. Similarly, when we have an accident in the car, we can't say it was the car went by itself. Many people try that, but it's not accepted. Similarly, the soul is held responsible. Okay, everybody, the soul is held responsible for the actions of the mind-body mechanism, because the senses, the mind, and the intellect work on receiving inspiration from the soul. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Chalo. Shlok 28.
હે મહાત્માઓ, ગુણ અને કર્મના વિભાગને તત્વવિદ પરમ તત્વ પરમાત્માને જાણનારા મહાપુરુષોએ જોયા અને સંપૂર્ણ ગુણ ગુણોમાં જ વર્તી રહ્યા છે આવું માનીને તે ગુણ અને કર્મોના કર્તાપણામાં આસક્ત થતા નથી.
One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between the work in devotion and work for the fruitive results. Now, the previous verse mentioned the ahamkar, vimudhatma, right? Those who are bewildered by the ego and misidentify themselves with the body. I, meaning the body. Okay, that's what we're talking about, ahamkar. Right? This verse talks about tattvavid, knows of the truth. So, having abolished the ego, they are free from bodily identification and are able to discern the spiritual identity distinct from the corporeal body. Okay? They're not thinking of themselves as the doers of their material actions and successes. Instead, they attribute every activity to the movements of the three guns. Such God-realized saints, jo kare so hari kare. You've heard of that, right? Or jo hota hai kabir hota hai, right? Saimbro se badaye, right? Bhagwad Gita Chapter. These are all famous phrases, and we hear them and we are inspired by these phrases by spiritual leaders or people who are actually practicing this. God is doing everything, but people are thinking that I am doing this. That's what he's talking about. Shlok 29.
So, Shreeti Ben.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, તમે સાત્વિક ગુણમાં આવે જે આ શ્લોકનો મીનિંગ આવ્યો ઈ સાત્વિક ચાલે સાત્વિકમાં આવે
એટલે
ઉપલું હતું અહંકારનું ઈ તામસ હતો બરાબર.
Correct, absolutely. Sattvic is જ્યારે આપણે સમજી સકે એનો ડિફરન્સ અને we know કે કરતા હરતા શ્રી હરિ એને સાત્વિક કહેવાય. સેમ વસ્તુને મેં કર્યું, આ મેં કર્યું છે, મારા જેવું કોઈ ના કરી શકે, આ તામસ પ્રકાર. અને હા, પ્રભુની ઈચ્છા છે પણ મેં કર્યું છે, એ રજસ, right? આપણે ત્રણેય લઈ all the three different guns, right? તો આમાં આ રીતેનું definition થાય, sorry, segregation. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Shlok 29.
પ્રકૃતિના ગુણથી મોહિત થયેલા પુરુષ ગુણ અને કર્મોમાં ક્રમશઃ નિર્મળ ગુણો તરફ ઉન્નતિ જોઈને એમાં આસક્ત થાય છે. તેને સારી રીતે નહીં સમજનારા મંદાન શિથિલ પ્રયત્નો વાળાને આ સારી રીતે જાણનારો જ્ઞાની ચલાયમાન ન કરે. તેમને હતોત્સાહ ન કરે, પરંતુ પ્રોત્સાહન આપે. કારણ કે કર્મ કરીને જ તેમણે પરમ નૈષ્કર્મ્યની સ્થિતિને પામવાનું છે. પોતાની શક્તિ અને સ્થિતિનું આકલન કરીને કર્મમાં પ્રવૃત્ત થનારા જ્ઞાન માર્ગી સાધકોએ કર્મોને ગુણોની દેન હોવાનું માનવું જોઈએ. પોતાને કરતા માનીને અહંકારી ન બની જાય. નિર્મળ ગુણોને પ્રાપ્ત કરીને પણ તેમાં આસક્ત ન બને. પરંતુ નિષ્કામ કર્મયોગીએ કર્મ અને ગુણોના વિશ્લેષણમાં સમય આપવાની કોઈ જરૂર નથી. એને તો બસ સમર્પણ સાથે કર્મ કરતા રહેવાનું છે. કયો ગુણ આવે છે અને કયો ગુણ જાય છે એ જોવાની જવાબદારી ઈષ્ટની બની જાય છે. ગુણોનું પરિવર્તન અને ક્રમે ક્રમે ગુણોનું ઉત્થાન એ પણ ઈષ્ટની દેન છે એમ તે માને છે. અને કર્મ થાય એ પણ એની જ દેન છે એમ તે માને છે. અને કરતાપણાનો અહંકાર અથવા ગુણોમાં આસક્તિ થવાની સમસ્યા એને માટે નથી રહેતી, પરંતુ તે કર્મમાં સતત વ્યસ્ત રહે છે. આ વિશે તેમજ તેની સાથે સાથે યોગનું સ્વરૂપ બતાવતા શ્રી કૃષ્ણ કહે છે,
bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Now, the question may be raised that if a soul is distinct from the gunas and their activities, then why are the ignorant attached to the sense objects? Shri Krishna explains in this verse, they become bewildered by the gunas of the material nature, and they think of themselves to be doers. Infatuated by the three modes of material nature, they work for the express purpose of being able to enjoy sensual and mental delights. They are unable to perform actions as a matter of duty without desiring rewards. We discussed this about karma very much earlier. You know, if we are going to work, we must have a goal, an aim in mind, right? Of course, we work hard and all that, but we do deserve and we want. We're working for a particular thing. We are working for a reward. The reward to be able to live properly and dispense our duties. So now that also is also attachment. And that attachment is still better than not being able to do the work at all. Or the other end, that is rajasic in the gunas, if we see. That I'm going to work here, I need to get X amount of salary and benefits, etc. That is rajasic, okay? There is tamas tattva as well to that, and there is, you know, the other, you know, sattvic tattva as well. And how do we define that? What do you think should be the sattvic aspect of it? And what do you think should be the tamasic aspect of it? Can anybody share their views? Okay. Anybody? Okay. Right. In this shlok, there is kritasnavet, that is persons with knowledge, that they should not disturb the minds of the akritasnavid, meaning persons without knowledge. These are the two words in this shlok. Okay, this means that the wise should not force their thoughts onto the ignorant persons by saying, you are the soul, not the body, and hence karma is meaningless, give it up. You shouldn't say this to the ignorant people because they will not understand. Rather, they excuse me, sorry. That way. Sorry, I've had to mute everybody because it's just the background was just a bit much. Okay, as I was saying, the wise should not force their thoughts onto the ignorant persons by saying this, that you are the soul and the body, etc. Because for them it's going to be meaningless. Rather, in that case, the wise should think about this and instruct the ignorant person to perform their respective karma and slowly help them rise above the attachment. In this way, after presenting the distinctions between those who are spiritually wise and those who are ignorant, Sri Krishna gives the sober portion not to unsettle the minds of the ignorance. So basically help them, but do not share this bhashan, otherwise they'll think, oh my God, they're talking rubbish. They won't even understand. There's no point doing that. Yeah, see, આમાં પણ ભગવાને ચેતવણી આપી છે. Not to argue with ignorance is pointless. Okay, Shlok 30.
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः.
માટે હે અર્જુન, તું આધ્યાત્મ ચેતસા અંતરાત્મામાં ચિત્તનો નિરોધ કરીને ધ્યાનસ્થ થઈને સંપૂર્ણ કર્મોને મારામાં અર્પણ કરીને આશા રહિત, મમતા રહિત અને સંતાપ રહિત થઈને યુદ્ધ કર.
Performing all works as an offering and as an offering unto me, constantly meditate on me as the Supreme, become free from desire and selfishness, and with your mental grief departed, fight, basically karma. Krishna, in this typical style, expounds on a topic and then finally presents the summary. We can see the words Adhyatma Cheshta, meaning Chetas, Adhyatma Chetas, which means the thoughts resting on God. Sannyas means renouncing all the activities that are not dedicated to Him. Okay? Nirashahi means without hankering for the results of actions. The consciousness of dedicating all actions to God requires forsaking claim to proprietorship. And in this day and age, everybody wants the name, actually stamped on, well, most people. However, renouncing all desire for personal gain, hankering and lamentation continuously. The idea or the summary of the instruction is that one should very faithfully reflect, my soul is a tiny part of the Supreme Lord Krishna. He is the enjoyer and master of all. All my works are meant for His pleasure, and thus I should perform my duties in the spirit of a yagna or sacrifice to Him. Yeah? He supplies the energy by which I accomplish works of yagna. I should not take credit for any actions authored by me. We discussed this earlier in our question and answers. Moving on to Shlok 31.
येने अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न भूयन्तः मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः।
अर्जुन, जे कोई मनुष्य दोष दृष्टिથી રહિત થઈને શ્રદ્ધા ભાવ સમર્પણથી સંયુક્ત થઈને સદાય મારા મત પ્રમાણે વર્તે છે કે યુદ્ધ કર, તે પુરુષ પણ સંપૂર્ણ કર્મોથી છૂટી જાય છે.
Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow their teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. In this shlok, very beautifully, the Supreme Lord terms the Siddhant, the whole principle, explained by him as a mat, as his opinion. Now, it's a very valuable opinion. It is the opinion of the Supreme Parabrahma Paramatma. An opinion is a personal view, while a principle is a universal fact, right? That's the difference. Opinions can differ amongst teachers or leaders, etc. But the principle is the same. Philosophers and teachers name their opinion as principle. But in the Bhagwad Gita, the Lord has named the principle explained by him as his opinion. By his example, he's teaching us humility and cordiality. How to be humble in life. Sri Krishna's words are to be taken as gold, as the ultimate principle. However, the way he has placed it in this shlok, he has actually placed it with a lot of humbleness. And that is a sign of a great, great individual. Having given the call for the action, Sri Krishna now points out the virtues of accepting the teachings of Bhagwad Gita with faith and following them in one's life. Our prerogative as humans is to know the truth and then modify our lives accordingly. In this way, our mental fever of lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, everything gets pacified. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Maya. All this, આ બધી વસ્તુનો પડદો હટી જશે if we take the principles of Bhagwad Gita in our lives. In the previous verse, Sri Krishna had clearly explained to Arjun to offer all works to him. But he knows that this statement can cause ridicule from those who have no belief in God, okay, and rebuke from those who are envious of him. So he now emphasizes the need for accepting the teachings with conviction. He says that by faithfully following these teachings, one becomes free from the bondage of karma, which is a big thing. But what happens to those who are faithless? Their position is explained in the next shlok. Shlok 32.
ये तदभ्यसूयन्तः नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञानविमूढान्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् चेतसः.
જે દોષ દ્રષ્ટિવાળા અચેતસઃ મોહ નિશામાં અચેત થયેલા લોકો મારા મત પ્રમાણે નથી વર્તતા, અર્થાત ધ્યાનસ્થ થઈને આશા, મમતા, સંતાપ રહિત થઈને સમર્પણની સાથે યુદ્ધ નથી કરતા, સર્વ જ્ઞાન વિમૂઢાન જ્ઞાન માર્ગમાં સર્વથા મોહિત એ લોકોને તું કલ્યાણથી ભ્રષ્ટ થયેલા જ જાણ. જ્યારે આ જ સાચું છે તો લોકો કરતા કેમ નથી એ વિશે શ્રી કૃષ્ણ કહે છે.
Those But this is the other type of people who don't believe in Krishna. Those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Now, if you look at the teachings presented by Sri Krishna, this is for our perfect, eternal welfare. Eternal, I'm talking about. However, our material intellect has innumerable imperfections, so we are not always able to comprehend with his teachings and appreciate these benefits. If we could, what would be the difference between us, tiny souls, and the Supreme Divine Personality, right? So the faith becomes a necessary ingredient for accepting the divine teachings of Bhagwad Gita. Wherever our intellect is unable to comprehend, rather than finding fault with the teachings, we must submit our intellect. Sri Krishna has said, there must be veracity in it, which I cannot understand at present. Let me accept it for now and engage in spiritual sadhana. I will be able to comprehend it in future when I progress in spirituality through sadhana. This attitude is called Shraddha or faith. Basically putting your faith into the matter and said, okay, maybe today I do not understand it. Aaj mane nathi samjhato. Koshish કરીશ આગળ ચાલીને સમજાશે પણ ખરા. In this matter, Jagat Guru Shankaracharya ji defines Shraddha as Guru. Shraddha is strong faith in the words of Guru and the scriptures. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji also explained it similarly. And so did Shivalbhacharya ji, Srimadacharya ji, and Nimbakacharya ji. Shraddha means strong faith in God and Guru, even though we may not comprehend their message at the time, we do not understand. Fine, have faith. In future, you may be able to understand and go with the positive flow. Because, you know, the British poet Alfred Tennyson also said, by faith alone, embrace believing where we cannot prove. So, Shraddha means earnestly digesting the comprehensible portions of Bhagwad Gita and also accepting the, elusive portions with the hope that they will become comprehensible in the future. One of the persistent defects of the material intellect is pride. All of us, due to pride, whatever the intellect cannot comprehend at present, it often rejects as incorrect. We always think what we don't understand is always wrong, but that's not the case. It's not always like that. That is our ego. You know, we talked about all the attributes of the being. Though Sri Krishna's teachings are presented by the Lord himself for the welfare of the souls, people still find fault in them. Yeah. Why is God asking everything to be offered to him? Is he greedy? Is he an egotist that he asks Arjuna to worship him? Sri Krishna says that such people are achetas or devoid of discrimination because they cannot distinguish between the pure and the impure, the righteous and the unrighteous, the creator and the creation, the supreme master and the servant. Such people bring about their own ruin because they are stubborn and they reject the path to eternal salvation and keep rotating in the cycle of life and death, Janma Maran Na Chakkar. And with this shlok, I would like to stop here for this Bhagwad Gita, and we'll continue in the next session from here on. And I just want to remind you all that whatever we've discussed in the question and answers, I would like you all to think about it and share your views on the Ken Upanishad and the Karma Yoga till, whatever we did today, till Shlok 32. And whilst we, next week, we're going to take on the subject of karma in great details. If anybody has anything else they want me to include or incorporate during that period in the subject of karma, please send me a note or or call me, or whatever you prefer. And send me a feedback as well, the way we've done the shloks today, so that we can improvise if need be, or we can go back to the earlier format. So please, thank you very much for today's.
Anantaya Namaha. Shri Govindaya Namaha.
Om
Achyutaya Namaha. Anantaya Namaha.
Shri
Govindaya
Namaha. Om
Achyutaya Namaha.
Anantaya
Namaha.
Shri
Govindaya Namaha.
And I'm just going to share the last pratna, because I think not everybody is aware of the last pratna. This is just for your information. This is also from the Ken Upanishad. Okay. It's just we used it right from the beginning, but it is part of the Upanishads. Vedic pratna to end this session. Om
Purnamada
Purnamidam Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevasishyate. Om
Shanti
Shri Krishna Padane.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.